Hey cuties, Peachy here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we have a ton of Monster High news to talk about from 2027 releases, including Skullector Catwoman from Batman Returns, Skullector Goosebumps Slappy Doll, first look at G3 ELISSABAT from Carnival Frights, we have new Claws and Charms, Dracula and Claudine, Schools at Creeproductions confirmed to be coming next year, we have more Moonspell Magic Dolls, and more, so stay tuned, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hype this video, cuties. Consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join is down below if you're able to, of course, to support that channel that way, and so you do not miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the adulting you love. But for now, let's get into it. But before we get into all of that juicy tea, we have to talk about updated pictures here of the new Wednesday Netflix show, Agnes the Mill Doll here. These pictures are by user almost_Jess, and I do think we can see a better look here. Obviously the last pictures were blurry, and I do think officially she is releasing in August probably, so very soon, you know. I think she looks a little bit better here, but I honestly don't feel like she looks that much better. I still don't like the expression. It was definitely a choice to give her this like really wide-eyed look. Like, I get it, in the show she does have that kind of like stalker, you know, kind of persona because she is such a fan of Wednesday, but by the end she becomes her own character. She doesn't really pull this kind of look anymore, like it's just not the expression, so giving her these like really big eyes and, you know, like just making her look so scary, to me it's more of like it's a portrayal of her early like scenes in this season, but not really an accurate depiction of her like overall by the end. So I don't know, it's off. I don't love it. I also don't feel like I see the actress here in the face sculpt, which sucks. But I do like the makeup, I guess. And the hair is nice and red. It's the braids, you know, it's pretty simple. The main thing I don't love here, like, you know, besides the expression, is the bag is just like a book that's like an autograph book. Okay. What? And then she has a pen, which, like, okay, I guess, again, it seems like they're pulling here, especially from her first scenes in the season, where she's, like, getting an autograph from, like, Wednesday. She's, like, following Wednesday around. She's sneaking around to see what Wednesday's doing. But again, it's not really, like, her entire character. Like, there's more to her than this. So, it just feels very, like, very small in perspective, as you know, in terms to her character. And then her object heels are pretty bad. Like, one of them is an eyeball, which I get, it's supposed to be a reference to the eyeball that we see in like the meeting, right, with like the other dismembered body parts, if you will, right? It's, if you know, you know, because Fing the hand goes to these meetings to feel like some kind of like connection to other, you know, again, like beings that are by themselves and not part of a full body. Again, it's so weird to describe. You know what I mean? So then the other object heel is like a mask, which I do not remember what this mask is, so, but I'm assuming it's obviously from the show. So yeah, they stick out so badly. The eyeball, the mask, they're both like white. It's really bad. The tights are not even anything special. So yeah, if she had like some of her limbs were like see-through, I feel like that would have perhaps saved it a little bit, but no, the expression, the outfit is so simple. Like, I get it, it's the uniform, but it's the same outfit like they gave Bianca and Wednesday, just Wednesday's is black and white, black, well, it's grayscale. So just the outfit is so simple, and she's gonna be like 50, and she's not worth that much. Like, maybe I'll get her on sale, but like it's shocking because usually up until now I've always gotten the dolls like when they release, but like with this one, like I like her. I guess I like her enough because she's like a new character, right? But other than that, like the novelty of it being like an Agnes doll, like the outfit sucks. the shoes, the object heels suck. The purse sucks. Her accessory sucks. And the expression is not ideal. So there's just nothing here that's like amazingly done. So unfortunately, you know, that's the case, at least for me. But if you do like her, then I'm glad. But I feel like there's just nothing here that's like, you know, like nothing exciting. Like the new face sculpt is cool, but like her power is she turns invisible, and you wouldn't know that just by looking at her doll. At least with Bianca, you know, they gave her scales on the back of her neck, right? But here with Agnes, it's almost like there's no way to tell that she had these superpowers of being invisible if you hadn't seen the show. So to me, that's just a really big missed opportunity. And again, also along with the face screening, the expression, the accessory, the purse, the object heels, the outfit, it just, all of it does not, it falls flat. It's just very unfortunate. But now moving on to the juicy leaks, which were all shared here by user Boo Team on, shared across Twitter / Telegram. So all of these like blurry prototype pictures that you'll see here in this video, they were originally shared by user Boo Team. So just, you know, all credits go to them. Not sure again how they got these, but I do think obviously they're, to some extent, these are prototypes and probably not the final versions. So, and also remember that these are for next year. So there's definitely bound to be changes that will be happening to the dolls. There's bound to be changes to the dolls by the time we see them fully released, which again is next year. Crazy that we're talking about leaks for next year. I mean, it's not that crazy, but like we have actual images, so yeah. Anyway, firstly, we have Claws and Charms. First looks here at Draculaura and Claudine. Apparently there's going to be like a DIY activity included here. As you can see that they do have a lot of accessories included. And just a disclaimer, we previously already had a leak of what we thought was Claws and Charms Claudine, but in fact, apparently this like coffin shaped like plastic thing is actually part of like a Little Frights playset, and apparently the Claudine here is actually self-scare Claudine. So yeah, fully that was not the case. I thought it was reported at the time that this was a leak for Claws and Charms Claudine, the coffin as well. But no, again, the coffin is like a Little Frights playset and the Claudine doll is self-scare Claudine. So just to clear that up in case you were confused, like, huh? No more Claws and Charms leaks? Well, yeah, these are now the actual Claws and Charms dolls for Claudine and Draculaura. And I think they look fine. It's just, again, these are so blurry, and there's going to be a lot of accessories included here that are the like DIY, you know, part of that whole play set. That's why they cost more. These are going to be $32 US apparently, so a little bit pricier, which makes sense because again they come with a lot of stuff, which is more like for the activity, right? The gimmick. The doll designs themselves look a bit messy, you know. The shoes for Draculaura look like, why do they have this like weird thing sticking out? The hats look interesting. Claudine doesn't look half bad, but again, it's just, you can't really make out anything here, so it's just really first impressions. I would say they kind of look expensive for what they are. Not sure if they're worth it, but let's see. I guess only time will tell as we get better pictures of these dolls, because right now all I can tell you is that they look kind of messy. They look like a hot mess, to be honest, and especially for the price point. Just, yeah, it's not really looking too exciting, but yeah, again, who knows? Maybe the final versions will look like more exciting, and maybe they won't have as many big chunky accessories or DIY activities, which I'm not even sure what the activity is. Like, just I couldn't even tell you. It's just accessory. Like, what is it? What's the activity? Painting nails, makeup, like slime, color reveal accessories, like probably any of those, but like I couldn't tell you. It's really a mess. So let's hope for the best. Next up, we have a first look at Moonspell Magic Dream Potion Sleepover dolls, which includes Ray Lumina, Karina Song, and Claire de Luna. They also include a little DIY activity, some sort of gimmick. It looks like they each include like a little potion bottle that you can like mix up your own potion in, or maybe it's slime, or maybe it's like, again, makeup. I have no idea, but it's interesting how these two lines that we're talking about, Claws and Charms, now Moonspell Magic, they both have some kind of like gimmick activity included. I know that they've done this in the past with Monster High G3, like some of the dolls that they release are like a playset that have a gimmick or like stuff like that, but it's never been so overt. And so now it's kind of shocking that next year it seems like we're getting more and more dolls in G3 that are really centered around like a gimmick or like an activity. It's giving me flashbacks to Rainbow High Reboot, and I don't like it. I don't like it. So hopefully these are just like coincidences and just like one-offs of like, oh yeah, it's just like a little reboot, a little gimmick, you know. I don't know, but hopefully this is not the new normal where every line now has some sort of gimmick with water activation or who knows. But anyway, it's not surprising because Moonspell Magic, the current line that's out right now, They also have like a water reveal where you pour water into the cauldrons and then you reveal the necklace. But that's not really like a huge gimmick. It's more of just like a little fun thing. So yeah, let's see what happens. But the actual designs here do look kind of final. They all seem to be wearing this like robe thing, and then Karina looks really cute with a high ponytail. Ray has like a little bonnet, which is so adorable. They look pretty much like the original face screenings, just different outfits here. So yeah, overall I'd say they look interesting, they look cute. These are going to be 26, so not as expensive as with Claws and Charms, so that's good. But let's see, again, these could be different by the time we see them. Who knows, who's to say? But it is interesting to me how Willow and Layla are absent, especially Willow, because you'd think like, oh, she's one of the popular girlies, but apparently it's Ray, Claire, and Karina who are popular here, because, you know, they are the only ones here in this line, and Willow, Layla are absent. Layla, not surprising, because Layla, also the current core doll, is like a Walmart exclusive in the US. That's, yes, unfortunate, but I think, yeah, it's interesting the turn Moonspell Magic is taking, and we don't even have like an animated like anything yet. I'm hoping they do release some kind of like episodes soon for Moonspell Magic, because if they don't, I feel like we're just not going to get to know the characters at all, and there's just going to be no backstory, no lore, no world building. Like, it would be nice for them to kind of explain more about Moonspell Magic and like what that's about, you know, would be cool. But let's see. What do you think of Moonspell Magic here with these new gimmick dolls, sleepover dolls, right? Next, this was very exciting to see. We have confirmation that in the year of 2027, we're getting reproductions here. Creeproductions of Schools Out, Claudine, Frankie, and Laguna. But hang on. What about Cleo? What about Draculaura? Dawn of the Dance Draculaura originally was also a exclusive to a 3-pack, I believe. So they're doing reproductions of Draculaura, though, as a singular release. So how come with Schools Out Draculaura, she was originally a 2-pack exclusive, but here they're not able to reproduce her as a singular, like, individual release? So I'm not sure what that's all about. And especially like Cleo. Cleo was sold separately to begin with, you know. So why is she not getting reproduced here? I'm very confused by these choices. Maybe they will get reproduced. Maybe it's just like the second wave. Why would they be like a second wave? I'm not sure. I mean, again, like, I really have no idea. This just seems very odd to me. You'd think like just it would make sense for them to reproduce all 5. Okay, done deal. Again, they're reproducing Dawn of the Dance Draculaura, no problem, right? Designing new packaging probably for her as well, with new elements and all of the designs for her specifically on the packaging artwork. So why can they not do it for Draculaura here, but as an individual release without Claude? And then Cleo, like, why not Cleo? Why are they leaving out Cleo here? Like, first Nephra, they exclude her, and now Cleo's not here for Schools Out. And arguably, this is one of the best Draculauras and Cleos to ever be released. So it just feels like such a missed opportunity. But yeah, at least they are doing reproductions of Laguna, and she's my favorite. I adore her. Laguna Schools Out. She's one of my favorite Monster High dolls ever. I was so obsessed with her, like getting her when they initially dropped. I don't remember how I got her in the end, but I think it was through eBay. Like, I was just so obsessed. Like, I could not get enough. I just love her outfit so much. The little unique pose as well for the hand with the like surfs up kind of hand expression. I love her outfit. I honestly, again, Schools Out is like top tier when it comes to like designs in general. So, and for me, my original Cleo and Claudine, both of them have like heels that are like falling apart. So I would not mind getting the reproductions. But again, why exclude Draculaura? Why exclude Cleo? It just seems like such a obvious thing to do, to reproduce all 5. Like, of course they would, but like, no, they're not. So again, maybe this is a mistake. Maybe they will get added on to the wave later on. I have no idea. Maybe they're store exclusives. That could actually explain why they're not here as the part of like the first initial leak, because store exclusives are usually like a little bit different. That could be an explanation. But even then, like, we've never had Creeproductions before that are store exclusives. I mean, have we? I don't remember, but not like this, where it's like Dracula could be exclusive to Walmart or Cleo could be exclusive to Target. Again, these are just speculations, but I don't know. Again, let's hope that they do these two as well, because if they don't reproduce all five, like, what's the point? Like, what is happening here? What is happening here? What are we doing, Monster High Mattel? Why are we playing with why are you playing with our feelings like that? But I mean, all in all, I'm still excited that they're reproducing Schools Out even at all, because again, it's just one of the best lines ever in Monster High history. But still, very, very odd creative decisions were made here. And apparently these will be releasing again like summer next year, I'm assuming, if not fall, and probably priced around $30 as well, similar to the Dawn of the Dance Creeproductions that are coming this year as well. But what do you think? Major news here, as we have a first look at the new G3 Carnival Frights doll line here, including the debut for G3 ELISSABAT as well. Now, quick disclaimer, I've seen a lot of people say that apparently the more clearer looking prototype images might be AI enhanced to some extent. I'm not sure how true this is, but if you do look closely at some parts, you know, like the cards as well, the artwork on the clearer pictures, like, yeah, I guess it could be that they are AI enhanced, more clearer pictures based on blurrier versions. But again, I'm not sure if this is true, if it's real, if it's not. Like, what I do know is that in the end, of course, the dolls will look different anyway, because these are prototype pictures of the dolls. But just, you know, keep that in mind just when we take a look at these pictures, because they might be in some cases AI enhanced just to make them a bit clearer. I don't think these are fake. Like, these are pictures of the prototypes, but perhaps they were enhanced with AI to make them a bit more crisp and clear for us to see. But I'm not really sure. I'm just going off of what people are kind of speculating, talking about how they might look off, they look off, there's some spots that look a bit weird, so just, yeah, keep in mind. Okay, firstly, we have Dracula, because we actually had a previous leak of this doll, which is a bit clearer, so I think the more clear picture of Dracula is probably what she's going to look like, because here in the leaked new picture we can see that her hair is much curlier and like in tighter curls. It's like more of like a bun and it's a ponytail, so I'm not sure how she's going to end up looking, but you know, design wise I think she looks pretty much the same in both leaks, so she's pretty cute. Yeah, I have to say, let's hope that she looks as good in the final version. The accessories and the card as well look pretty much the same in both leaks, so I think it's just kind of like hard to tell like which one's going to be the final version, or we don't even know what the final version will look like, so let's see. But yeah, I think this is really a good Dracula doll design. Next up we have a Frankenstein, and wow, this is really cute. I like the frill around the neck. They seem to be wearing these long black sleeves, or maybe it's like a cape. Again, maybe this looks a bit weird because it might be AI enhanced, but the face also looks really cute. The hair seems to be a bit curly. We've got layers on the skirt, the checker kind of pattern. The one leg is obviously prosthetic, and on the prosthetic leg it's like also like that contouring like diamond checker pattern. I think that looks really nice. The shoes as well, the accessories. Yeah, this is actually a really good Frankie doll. I'm just hoping that, yeah, they look this good. They look like this on the final doll, because yeah, this is a really good design for Frankie. The colors pop, the prosthetic leg detail, the accessories, the face, you know, the hair. It really all comes together really well. Then we have Laguna, and this is interesting because we weren't supposed to, like, we didn't know we were gonna get a Laguna Blue doll, but that's because I guess she was cut. Like, this is the doll that we would have gotten if she was kept in the line. It really sucks because I do think this is a really good Laguna Blue doll. Like, the outfit pops, the frill again, the colors, they look, she looks really cute. Like, I have to say, it's honestly really a shame that they cut this Laguna from the line, because again, she looks so good. I'm not sure why. I mean, like, usually we get a line with 4 characters, so it would have made sense. I'm not sure why they ended up cutting her from the line. It just seemed like she was such a good doll. Like, it all looks so good, and arguably she would have been one of the better ones in this line. So yeah, just a real shame that they, you know, left her out, even though the prototype version here, like, wow, it's really good. So I don't know, but would you have gotten her if she wasn't cut from the line? And I mean, who knows? Maybe she will be in the line after all. Like, maybe like plot twist. But who knows? I mean, only time will tell, but I do think she looks really cute. And of course, the standout of this line is G3 ELISSABAT's debut doll here, and wow, this is certainly a doll. It essentially just is Draculaura, like just purple. And I feel like, I mean, it's always been like a comparison, right? Even in G1, like ELISSABAT was always kind of like coined as the purple Draculaura. Like they are similar in design, in aesthetics. Like really the color theme is the biggest difference, but I feel like that's why it would have been so great if they would have done a huge change here for G3's version of ELISSABAT. They could have made her extra unique, make her really stand out, and separate her from Draculaura, so she wouldn't be as comparable. But no, it seems like they just completely went the opposite route and just, again, like she's essentially Draculaura but just purple. Even the face, like you could be deceived into thinking that that's Draculaura, but just in a purple gradient here. Yeah, really unfortunate, because I do think there was potential here. But again, remember that these clearer images might have been AI enhanced, so some things might be off. Maybe the hair is shorter, maybe some of the outfit details are different. Really don't know, but I do think the core elements of her design, like the straight hair, the bangs, the outfit, for the most part, I think that's probably true. So I don't know, even if it is AI enhanced and some of it is different, I don't think she's going to look that much different in the final version, unfortunately. So there's not much we can do here or hope to see that she would change, because it seems like this is the doll that we are getting for ELISSABAT. So just, yeah, kind of a disappointment. I feel like a lot of us had just higher expectations, like something grander, something more exciting, unique, perhaps, because G3 has been so inventive with their redesigns in some cases, right? So let's see. I mean, maybe she does look better in person, but even just the face, again, just looks so Draculaura. Like it does, just nothing about her is so unique. It almost robs her of being ELISSABAT. Like she has no personality. Like she is just a clone of Draculaura. It's really sad, because obviously ELISSABAT is her own character, but here, just looking at the doll, you wouldn't be able to tell. Like you would just think it's just a variant of Draculaura, but no, it's a completely different character. And I feel like that's just very, again, it robs ELISSABAT of her own character, of being her own character, having her own style, aesthetics, designs. Just seems, yeah, instead they went for the easy route, and she just looks similar to Draculaura. So I don't know, hopefully she looks better in person, in real life, etc. The outfit just is really simple. The skirt, the little gold necklace, whatever, the hat, the boots are okay, but just, again, it just seems like so basic, so simple, lazy, very, very lazy. I feel like she seems to be kind of like in the outfit here to look like the ringleader, like from the circus, so the one who's in charge. So that's, I guess, I really don't know, but it's just, yeah, just very lazy. So overall, first impressions, I guess G3 Carnival Frights is okay. Draculaura Frankie definitely look really good. ELISSABAT, mediocre at best, and really unfortunate that Laguna was cut, but maybe, fingers crossed, we can hope that Laguna somehow does become released in the end. I don't know, I wouldn't hold out my hopes for that to happen, but you never know. Maybe Mattel sees the good reaction to Laguna with these leaks, or maybe Mattel actually was the one who released the leaks. I mean, we never know. We never know how leaks happen. A lot of it is insider things that happen, people to post these things. Honestly, I feel like sometimes the leaks and how they come out is very intentional, very purposeful. It's like usually 9 times out of 10, it's not a coincidence. It's done with purpose. So, but what do you think of Carnival Frights, ELISSABAT's core doll for G3? If she really looks like this and it's not just all AI fakery or whatever, do you think she looks okay? Do you think she looks awful? Do you think it's like too late? It's really sad, because she's like no longer her own character. She's just a clone of Draculaura. in a lesser clone, even not a better clone, like a lesser version. So that's, yeah, hopefully they fix her. But yeah, let's see, fingers crossed. But yeah, this is just not a great debut doll for ELISSABAT. Very unfortunate. But yes, the biggest releases, well, biggest news for releases in next year were the Skullector reveals. First off with a Slappy here for Skullector Goosebumps collaboration doll. She is going to be released next year, priced around $70 US, and again is based on Slappy, the dummy from the Goosebumps series. Now, I'm not too familiar with Goosebumps. I think I saw the Jack Black movie that came out a couple years ago, but that's pretty much the extent of my knowledge when it comes to Goosebumps. I never read the books. I never saw the new series. I think there's, yeah, like a new series on Disney Plus or Hulu, I think they also released recently. But yeah, I have not seen anything else, just again, the movie with Jack Black, and that's it. So yeah, Goosebumps. Slappy definitely seems to be like the mascot, right, of Goosebumps. So it makes sense that they would kind of make a doll interpretation of Slappy the dummy, which seems to be again like a ventriloquist dummy, right? That's why there's like these slits across the mouth, the jaw, right? So it kind of opens like that. So the design here, at least for the artwork for the doll, seems very nice. Like I love the green eyes, the design for the outfit, the long hair, the earrings with the Goosebumps G, the backpack is like a book, right? So it's cute overall. And I do think these, like this artwork reminds me heavily of like the artwork we saw leak for the Coraline doll that came out like last year. So I do think it's kind of safe to say that with the artwork looking so similar to the Coraline artwork, that this will really look like the doll in the end. Like even though it's concept art, I'm pretty sure the final doll will end up looking very similar, if not the exact same, to the design here. Again, might change, it might change, we never know, but it really just reminds me of like the Coraline concept art, and you know, that turned out to be a one-to-one, you know, like identical design. So let's see, you know, Goosebumps, are you a fan? Are you a fan of the series, the movies, the show? I think there's a show, right? Again, I have no idea, but what do you think of this Goosebumps Slappy the dummy doll? Is she a good interpretation or not very good? But 70 seems to be the new price point for all the individual, like singular releases for Skullector. So yeah, expensive for sure, but I think so far, this is not bad, not too shabby, you know? But for me, the biggest reveal was the first look concept art confirmation at the Monster High Skullector doll of Batman Returns Catwoman, Selina Kyle, based on Michelle Pfeiffer, you know, coming next year in June to celebrate the 35th anniversary of Batman Returns. The movie came out in 1992, so gosh, that's, yeah, been a while. But that movie is so good. Again, directed by Tim Burton. So honestly, comes to no surprise that they would make a doll of this Catwoman version, arguably the most iconic Catwoman ever on screen, because of course they have made Skullectors before of Tim Burton movie characters. So Corpse Bride, obviously Beetlejuice, they've done now 3 times. So it just makes sense that they would make a Catwoman doll here of this version, you know, Selina Kyle as Catwoman, based on Michelle Pfeiffer's portrayal. So wow, this means we are getting a Michelle Pfeiffer doll. At least the face sculpt will be to some degree in her likeness. I am just so pumped for all of this. And then of course we have the concept art as well here for this doll. And once again, I feel like this is really realistic. Like I think she's gonna look like this. The price point is like $70 US, and for both Slappy and Catwoman, I don't know if they're gonna be available as well on Amazon or if these are just like Mattel Creations exclusive. Perhaps for like Slappy, she will be available on Amazon, but I think for Catwoman, they know she's gonna be a really good seller, so they might want to keep her exclusive to Mattel Creations, because I do think this is gonna be one of those dolls that just sells out in like 10 minutes. Like, come on, she looks iconic. It's a Catwoman doll. First of all, Catwoman doll. Second of all, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman from Batman Returns. I mean, come on, it's just, it's gonna be successful. She is going to sell out. She looks amazing here, even with the purse in the shape of the kind of like store mascot from the movie, like the cat mascot. So just, I love that. And then the rest is basically just a really faithful kind of interpretation of her suit with all the stitching, the scratches. And I think on the doll, the suit probably will be like vinyl or pleather, which does suck because obviously for longevity's sake, it might peel over time. But in the movie, the suit is vinyl. It is latex. Well, latex, vinyl, pleather, kind of the same thing. So either way, they all kind of are susceptible to, like peeling over time. So, but in the movie, it is that material. So on the doll, like, of course, they're going to use these materials for the suit as well. So I don't think we should be outraged when we do see the final photos and it's like, oh no, it's pleather. Well, yeah, it's pleather. What else were they going to use? Matte fabric that looks nothing like the movie, even if it's more like, even if it offers more longevity in the long run. Like, I would rather the doll looks accurate with the shiny pleather and therefore we sacrifice a couple of years than getting a fabric that lasts longer but looks nothing like the movie doll, like the movie outfit. So to me, I'm okay with her having a pleather suit. I think as long as the details are there and she really looks, and the suit really looks like the movie, I'm okay. Like, I'm good. I think just, it's gonna look so good. So good. I'm curious, like, will they have hair underneath the, the mask? Will they have rooted blonde hair, or will she be bald? I think they have to root the head with hair, just in case some of us want to take the, cowl off. But let's see. I'm just so excited. The long fingernails, the tail. I do think she should also come with a whip. Like, whip for Catwoman is just such an essential weapon of choice. So if she does not come with a whip and just a purse, that to me would be very disappointing, because again, even if she has the purse, I would rather the whip than the purse, or just give us both, but don't just give me the purse and no whip, because again, the whip is essential to Catwoman. Come on now. Come on. They have to make it. They have to make it. If they don't, I will be disappointed, but let's see what happens. Overall, I am very pleased. I am very excited. I cannot believe we have to wait a whole ass year for this doll to release. It's June of next year, so less than a year, but still, it's basically a year. Let's not kid around. But still, I am so pumped. What do you think? Actually, I think, come to think of it, that the thing that I thought that was a tail behind her, I think that's the whip. So, okay. If that's the case, then hey, well, we're good. Just forget my whole rant at the end there, because I don't think Catwoman has a tail in the movie on the suit. Like, I don't think she has a tail at all, right? So that means that on the concept art here, that thing that kind of looks like the tail behind her, that has to be the whip that she's just kind of like holding, that just, I can't, like, in the hand, it doesn't look like she's holding anything, but like, I guess that has to be her whip. So yeah, I mean, I hope that's the whip. I hope, because again, realizing, like, thinking about it now, I'm realizing, like, I don't think she has a tail at all. So, but yeah, anyway, I feel so silly now. But yeah, I think that's the whip. I think so. I think she looks so good, and also Slappy looks really cute. But definitely for me, I remember watching Batman Returns like a while ago. Like, I feel like that's one of my childhood movies. Like, I wasn't born in 1992. I was born in 2000, but like, I feel like I've seen a movie a couple of times now, and it's just so good. And Michelle Pfeiffer, I mean, come on, what an icon, what a legend. Getting a doll of her in that portrayal, like, ugh, it's just top tier. So I'm just excited. What do you think? Also, oh my gosh, that gives me hope that they might just make a Poison Ivy doll based on Uma Thurman from the Batman and Robin movie. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine if they ever made a Skullector Monster High doll based on Poison Ivy from, again, Uma's portrayal from the movie? Like, oh my god, that would be amazing. I cannot wait. They have to do it. Honestly, I feel like they would. Even though it's not Tim Burton who directed that movie, they would. I think they could do it. So fingers crossed it happens. Because I need a good Poison Ivy doll. We've had a couple here and there, but I need one specifically in the portrayal of Uma Thurman from the Batman and Robin movie. But what do you think of Catwoman? What do you think of Slappy? These Skullectors for next year. So far, I'm already very pleased. Looks very exciting. But that does it for the leaks here for 2027 Monster High releases, from G1 Skullector to G3 overall. I think it's safe to say it's going to be a packed year next year. Very exciting stuff with the Skullector Catwoman, Skullector Slappy doll. I think those two are very promising. G3 with Carnival Frights, you know, Draculaura, Frankie, both look good. G3's debut doll for ELISSABAT is unfortunate, not very exciting, but hopefully the final doll looks better. Inexplicably, Laguna is cut, which is weird, and then also feels like really, for whatever reason, they cut Draculaura and Cleo from the Schools Out Creeproduction. That to me feels also very off, but Schools Out Creeproductions coming either way is still amazing. Claws and Charms though feels like kind of a waste and like very messy, so and also expensive. But what do you think of Moonspell Magic here? All of these G3 releases, G1 Skullector, just yeah, this is gonna be a packed year no matter what. Anyway, that does it for today's Monster High recap. I hope you all enjoyed, and let me know what you think down below. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hype this video, cuties. Consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join is down below if you're able to, of course, to support that channel that way. No pressure, and so you do not miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the adulty you love. Thank you also to all my currently subscribed members. I see you and I appreciate you all so much. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time stay peachy. Kisses.